John Wallace, Wild Game Cook here. Today we're going to be making some goose jerky. I went ahead and pre-measured out on my little scale here about 5 pounds of goose breast meat. They were shot up at pretty close range, so I am going to take time to clean them up really nice. We're going to slice them thin, put them in this meat lug, and we're going to soak them in water, maybe replace the water once or twice just to make sure we have a better, cleaner tasting meat. Normally I'm not one to necessarily soak my wild game in water, but these are shot up pretty good, so this is a good application to turn these into jerky. We've got our Backwoods LEM Original, keeping it simple. We are going to check for shot using this nice little metal detector. It's not foolproof, but does give you some confidence before you start chomping into that jerky. Right before we put it in the smoker, we're going to dust it with a little bit of steak seasoning to give it just a little added kick, a little bit more salt. So yeah, we're going to get after it. First things first, we're just going to take inventory of these goose breasts. One major thing I always like to do is back here where it connects to the shoulder. I like to do like a little V cut, and I like to remove this really thick layer of membrane. Just kind of clean this back side up a little bit. You want to make sure you remove any fat, any skin that still may be left on the breast meat. If you take time in the field to take these out very nicely, or when you get back home and you're processing them, the more time you take when you're processing them, the less work you have to do when you're making some jerky or cooking them up, grilling them, whatever the case may be. So we're simply just going to, again, kind of treat it like we're cleaning up some deer meat. Just make it look really nice. Try to have minimal waste. But right here is this big, thick portion of silver skin that I like to get rid of. And it just makes for a better tasting bite of jerky. We didn't clean too much out of there, but it sure will go a long way. I'm not worried about too much of this silver skin. I'm not going to worry about that on the bottom side. So this one here is done, and we're going to move on and start cleaning the rest of them. Here's a good example of that membrane layer that's underneath there. Again, just kind of fillet it out like you would a fish fillet. If I'm turning these into steaks or little bite-sized pieces, whatever the case may be, I'm taking that membrane off as well. I'm going to go ahead and cut this big tendon out of this tenderloin here, and that's probably a jerky ready-made cut already. So those 4 are cleaned up. Again, invest in a kitchen scale of some sort. They're very handy. I use them a lot when I'm processing my deer as well, especially when I'm looking to see how much ground meat I have if I'm mixing in fat. Again, if you're taking this goose and you're going to mix it with fat and turn it into summer sausage, things of that nature, the scale's really a nice piece of affordable equipment to have in the kitchen. I'm 5 breasts in. You can see I've got very little waste there. Just looking to clean up some of the ugly spots. A lot of times jerky for me is how I introduce other people to wild game. So I want it to taste really good, or at least the best that it can be. Getting rid of any connective tissue is definitely going to help them have a lot better mouthfeel, which is going to go a long way. If you got any incredibly bloody spots, again, it may not be a bad idea just to go ahead and get rid of those. Some of it will go away in the soaking process. All right, that finishes up the cleaning portion of the goose breast. If you want to look at this, a lot of people just simply cut it like this to go against the grain. And you're not going to get it perfect, but the goose breast pattern kind of runs this way and then starts to switch this way. So if you really want to pay attention to it, you can go against the grain one way and then just slowly start to change your knife so that you're going against the grain. Again, kind of on this half here, they're all running this way. And they start running here, and you can see it plain as day, it starts running here. So you can cut your goose accordingly, and it's just going to make for a much better mouthfeel. By slicing thin, it does two things. One, it's going to make your jerky cook a little faster. It's also going to help help you find some of that steel shot that we won't find with our metal detector. You could use a slicer in this application. For a slicer, it's best to have the meat semi-frozen. Just makes for a much cleaner cut. The benefit of a slicer is that all your meat's going to be the same thickness, and it's going to ensure more even cooking times. So if you go short ways, you can kind of look at the grain pattern. You can see which way it's running. If you go long ways along the breast, again, there's no really a wrong way to cut your jerky. It's just a matter of how much easy pull you want from it. But you cut it thin enough and it should be tender either way you go. Again, there's really no wrong way. Don't overthink it. Experiment with it and see which way you like the most. All right, now that we got all of our goose sliced up, we're going to go ahead and turn on our metal detector. We've got it on the highest setting so that it's easiest to detect any sort of metal shot, anything like that would be inside the goose breast. You want to make sure you don't have it near any knives. Your countertops could have metal in it. So it works pretty simply. I'm just going to hold this up, run my wand through it. I didn't see anything while I was cutting. This metal detector is waterproof, so I'm just running it in through there. I'm not picking up anything. It's not to say that there may not be something in there, but I'm willing to take my chances. All right, so now that we've got it all in here, we're just going to go ahead and run some water through here. We're going to give it a good rinse, let it leach out a little bit, maybe give it about an hour, drain it, and then we're going to follow the directions on this pack, which is to add 2.5 cups of water to this. We're going to stir it all around, make sure that every edge is covered with seasoning, and then we're going to go overnight, maybe a day and a half, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put it on the smoker. So I'm going to get this in the water and get it rinsed out, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we filled up this drain tray with just a few inches of water, and within just a few minutes, it is definitely filled with blood. I'm going to show that to you. We may drain it and do it one more time to help kind of clean some of that meat out. Again, not something I would recommend doing unless for whatever reason the meat seems to be pretty shot up at close range. So yeah, we're going to change out this water a couple times, and we'll be ready to put the marinade on. We'll get this replaced out 1 or 2 times, and we'll be ready for the marinade. After the first round, you can see it's getting a little clearer already. We'll let this sit for another 10 minutes. We'll do one more pass, and we'll be done with the rinsing of cold water. As the water's coming in, you can already see there's less and less blood in there. So again, this will probably be our final pass before putting it in the marinade. We've got our goose drained and clean, looking pretty good. We've got our 2.5 cups of water per the ingredients package. What you've got in here is a little bag of cure. What I like to do is mix that in first. This is our pink curing salt. Go ahead and whisk that, let it get dissolved. And we're going to go ahead and dump the entire packaging because we have just about 5 pounds of goose here. All right. Give this a good stir. Make sure it's incorporated nicely. Little pro tip, you could go a little less on the water. As you'll see here, when I go to pour this out, there's probably going to be a little bit left in this glass. I'll put a tablespoon or 2 of water in this, slosh it around, and dump it in there to ensure we get all that cure, all that seasoning into our goose meat. I'm going to let this sit for a second. I'm going to get a pair of gloves, and we're going to put this seasoning in there. All right, we're going to go ahead and pour this marinade on. Again, we'll get a tablespoon of water to clean that out. And we're going to let this, we're going to massage it in, and I'll be right back. All right, so we've got our goose jerky. It's sitting in the marinade. I'm massaging it really well, making sure that all the pieces are separated, and that marinade is touching every last square inch of this goose. What I'm going to do is put this in a big giant gallon freezer bag, maybe 2. And we're going to massage and flip that in the refrigerator every couple of hours just to make sure that everything's getting touched. Right now this is very watery and loose, the ingredients include some thickening agents, so this will continue to dry and thicken up overnight. Package recommends more than 8 hours. For me, with waterfowl, with goose, I'm definitely going 24 hours, maybe a day and a half, to really ensure that that cure sets in and we get good, powerful flavor. Again, we're going to dust it with the steak seasoning right before we put it on the smoker. So yeah, we're going to put this in the fridge. We're going to continue to massage it and flip it over, every once in a while, every 8 hours or so in the refrigerator. And we'll see you back here at the next step. All right, so I guess as a rule of thumb, your gallon Ziploc bag is about 2/3 of the way full. We're going to go ahead and dump this liquid right in. Try to get as much air out as possible. Looks pretty good, so we don't get ourselves in trouble and have a big mess in the fridge. I'm gonna go ahead and get a big bowl out. I'm gonna clean this mess up, put this in the bowl, put it in the fridge. All right, we've got our bowl. We've got our jerky. And again, we'll go ahead and make sure this is sealed, and we'll put it on its side. In about 8 hours, we're gonna go ahead and take it out, massage it a little bit, flip it upside down. We'll do that maybe every 8 hours or so, just to ensure we've got good coverage. That's going to continue to absorb, and in a couple days or in a day and a half, we're going to go ahead and drain this, put it on the smoker. All right, we're back. It's been about 24 hours. We've got our jerky here in this bag. We've been flipping it about every 8 hours. I'll leave myself a little note on the counter to remind me to go out and flip it. But now we're just going to simply take it and put it on these racks to put on the smoker. It's going to take some time. We're going to make sure we try to put about 1 inch between each slice if we can, if there's enough space. This could totally be done in a dehydrator as well. Shoot for like 160 or as high as your dehydrator will go. You could go into the 150s. I've got my smoker set for 160. I've adjusted the smoke setting so we get a good bit of smoke on this goose jerky to add some flavor. But yeah, we're just going to simply put on some gloves, pour this out, and start putting it on our racks, put it on the smoker. Dumped it out. We're just going to go ahead and start laying it on our jerky sheets. All right, so we got our 3 trays loaded up. We've still got about 1 pound of jerky here in our bowl. So what we're probably going to do is put that back in a Ziploc and wait for this batch to be done. I'll simply put this on the smoker tomorrow, do a little test batch, see how much more flavorful this is going another 12 hours versus this here. So again, before we put it on the grill, we are going to hit it with a little bit of steak seasoning. So we're going to walk out to the grill. We're going to put this first grate on, sprinkle it, add the second one, so on, until it's loaded up. We'll see you out there. All right, we're going to go ahead and load this up. It's already preheated to 160. We're going to put our bottom tray in, like so. We're going to hit it with a little bit of extra steak seasoning. Not a lot, just a little bit. Go a little light on that layer. Add our second tray. There's probably enough salt in this marinade, but generally where I'm from, we like them to be salty. She's loaded up. All right, so how long do we cook it for? It's really up to you. I say we're gonna have to go every bit of 3 hours at this temperature. You're gonna wanna be checking it every so often. Any of those smaller, thinner pieces, they're gonna end a lot sooner than the thicker pieces. It depends on how much give and how much chew you like to your jerky. So when you think it's done, it's done. Any give back that it gives, the less give back, the more done it's going to be. Just depends again how much chew, how dry you want to be, but general rule of thumb, you want to go 3 to 4 hours, checking them periodically, and we'll check in here soon. All right, it's been just about an hour. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, take a peek at it. We've got a long ways to go, but I'm probably going to go ahead and take the jerky racks and rotate them. Some of these pieces on the ends are going to get done a little bit before the pieces in the middle, but I'm simply just going to take this out. Rotate this around 180. Do the same with the other 2 racks. You can see the edges are working a lot quicker than the middle. That's fine. We'll just pull off the jerky when it's done and allow the rest to continue cooking. No casualties there. We've got those in there. We'll come check on them in another hour or so, and some of them might be starting to be done already. All right, we're about 2.5 hours. This jerky is looking absolutely amazing. It's definitely cooking a little faster than I thought it would. And some of that jerky in the center, it's still got a little ways to go, but it's definitely catching up. So be patient. And yeah, it'll be done in no time. So what we're gonna do is we're simply just gonna check a couple of these pieces on the outside. Now, like that one's done to me. It's got a little bit of give, but not too much. The one next to it, again, I'll have to get it unstuck. But if you look at this piece here, you can see my thumb going in there. There's a good bit of give there. So that's got some time to go. You can flip the pieces over if you'd like, if they're not done yet. Taste a little bite for science purposes, of course. It's pretty good. All right. So we've got a good bit off of here already. This is definitely done. We're going to give this about another 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. We're going to come back and check it out. Got them all flipped over. Shouldn't be too much longer now. All right, so we're out here. It's been a little more than 5 hours, believe it or not. We've been kind of babysitting this, taking some off as they're done. We've only got a few pieces left. So again, what we're looking for is for very little squish. So that piece there is done. This piece here still has some give. So we're gonna let that go a little ways. This one here is done. We're just going to give it a few more minutes. We're going to allow these last remaining pieces to kind of hang out here, but we're going to take it inside and kind of show you where we go from here. All right, so we're back inside. We've got a good bit of goose jerky here. The first couple pieces came off at about 2.5 hours. These just came off at a little over 5 hours. So there's still a few pieces left out there. How you cut the goose breast, whether you cut it short ways or long ways, definitely impacted the time it took to cook. The shorter the muscle fibers, the quicker it dried out. We're going to take some of this to a wrestling meet tomorrow, but you could also vac seal some of this. You just want to be careful. Some of these end pieces right here can puncture your bag, so you're not going to want to vac seal it all the way down, but that is going to limit the shelf life in your freezer. One other quick tip too, some of these were cut thinner, some are a little thicker. Therefore, some are really dry and crispy. Some may have a little give yet to them. If we take all these and put them in a container, whether it's a Ziploc bag, whether it's this meat lug from LEM, you put it in there and you put this in the fridge overnight. The drier ones are becoming a little bit softer, and the softer ones are going to come a little bit drier. So they're all going to kind of mellow out and get to know each other a little well. But there's a good bit of goose jerky there. Looking forward to sharing some of that. MidwayUSA offers several different flavors of LEM Backwoods jerky seasonings, teriyaki, original, all kinds. Make sure you find the one that you like best. Try a couple of them. We'll see you next time.